Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in with me here at Success After Pain podcast. I'm your host, and this is more than a podcast, it's a movement. It's a movement for those who have faced addiction, trauma, setbacks, heartbreaks, disappointments, and life's toughest challenges. You see, here we believe your pain does not define your future. Your comeback does. Every week, we'll share real stories, powerful lessons, and practical wisdom to help you turn your struggles into strength and your pains into purpose. So, wherever you're listening from, get ready to be inspired, challenged, and reminded that your best chapters may still be ahead of you. This is Success After Pain podcast. Let's get started. Today, I want to share with you some of the things that helped me to get clean. So if I had to put a title on it, it would be Wisdom Wednesday. I would call it Wisdom Wednesday. Know and understand that wisdom is wise words spoken. It is also the activation of one's knowledge. I share that with you because most people, we get the help that we need, but we have a tendency not to apply it. See, knowledge is one thing at obtaining, but when it comes to the application of it, that's the hardest part at basically exemplifying what you know or what someone suggests to you. But these things, after start to apply them with my everyday travel and allowing me to basically take my knowledge and turn it in to a purpose, life is starting to be, not as bad as I thought it was for me. So if you're new, stick and stay because this is where recovery meets redemption. Today I want to talk about the program a little bit. July 1st, 2026, it stated that a simple program. The program is simply sharing, working the 12 steps and attending meetings and practicing the principles of the program. Before I share, I always tell my fellow members that I'm very grateful for another day clean. Also, before I share, I always share that I'm very grateful for a program called Narcotics Anonymous. When I share that from the sincerity of my heart because before coming to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I was one of those people that I acted off of impulsive thinking, a spur of the moment. I never took time to actually plan anything because the drugs and the lifestyle wouldn't allow me to. I want what I wanted when I wanted it, and that was right then, immediately. Today, when that self-gratification urges and comes on, I have a tendency to just stop what I'm doing and pay attention at what I'm gonna do next for at least what I call the 3-minute rule or the 3-minute law, where I allow myself just to be calm for approximately 3 minutes before I make any sort of spontaneous move. They told me in the rooms, if I don't know what to do, then don't do nothing. Just sit there and allow, the universe, which is my higher power, to bring forth an answer for me. So today, hopefully you would gain some sort of knowledge from this segment and take it to help you, change your way of thinking and help you come from up under the hypnosis of that high cost of no living, as they say in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. So, the reading states that our complicated lives can be made a lot less complicated if we concentrate on a few simple things: sharing our experience, strength, and hope with others, regularly meetings, attendance, and practice the principles of the program in all of our affairs. You see, when I start to do those things there, what that does, that help keeps me intact of my recovery. See, because I'm one of those addicts that I have a selected memory. See, all those things that led me to the rooms before getting here, after getting a little bit of clean time, after, getting a little bit of the things that life, the disease have taken from me, I can forget where I came from. So that's why it's suggested that you can, continue to make meetings on a regular. They say meetings make or make it. They say rarely will you fail if you, allow yourself to continue to make meetings. So today, man, if you want to get in the no matter what club and change your life, then you're in the right place here at Success After Pain podcast, right? It also states that by sharing our experience, strength, and hope with other addicts, we provide a powerful example for newcomers to follow. See, the newcomer, they told me, is the most important person in the meetings. They say the reason why, because it gives you an indicator that the disease of addiction haven't changed since you came into the rooms. See, we must know and understand, just because we get clean doesn't mean that our society or the people in the world wants that same for themselves or their society. But we got to become the beacon of light of hope for the ones that does want to make a difference in their life and their family's life. So that's the role that I've taken on, to give back what was so freely given to me to somebody that really wants it and needs to change, not only for themselves, but for the people that truly loves them. The effort we put into helping others also helps us keep self-centeredness, the core of our disease, at bay. See, today, basically what that means that before coming to the rooms, I was an individual that I needed other people validation. I wanted to become a people pleaser. Well, today, those are character defects that basically led me to my choice of drugs. You say, well, how? See, we must know and understand that the disease of addiction starts way before your drug of choice. See, it's how we think. See, my upside down thinking that led me to that cocaine. You see what I'm saying? Because the reason why your thinking is the core of the disease, because we must know and understand how the disease of addiction works. They say the disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and insidious, meaning at any given time I can tell myself, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And the next 5 minutes, if I'm not careful, I can turn around and be doing the exact same things that I just told you I won't do. See, and the crazy part of it is, at the time when I'm telling myself that, wholeheartedly, I believe what I'm saying to be true. But that's not how the disease of addiction works until you find a 12-step program, find someone that you can actually share what you're experiencing, allowing them to share their experience, strength, and hope. That's the only way that you can basically correct your past. See, today it's not about sounding good, looking good, and not feeling good. See, I always tell people, in the rooms when I'm sharing, we deal with a feeling disease. We want to look good, we want to sound good, and we want to feel good, but at the same time, we are not putting in the work to exemplify any one of those entities that I just mentioned. See, today, we must know and understand that many of us can pick a group, right, and a home group whose meetings we attend faithfully. But going to a meeting, and like I shared in the beginning, and gaining the information, the knowledge, which turns into the wisdom, until you apply it, it can't become wisdom. That's just knowledge that you've gained, but you haven't done anything with the knowledge to bring forth the wisdom. See, I must know and understand that in order for me to get better, I got to take other people's suggestions. Not only that I got to consume the knowledge, I got to apply the knowledge. You know, the literature also says the effort we put into helping others also helps us to stay clean. You know, making regular meetings gives some routine to our lives and let others know where they can find us if they need us. In other words, that if a person knows that I continue to go to a meeting on a regular basis, when he or she is going through it, they can come to that same meeting and they can allow someone to share their experience, strength, and hope, and can, eradicate their circumstance or whatever they're going through at the time. See, the help is in the rooms. But see, this is the kicker for the newcomer. Before going to the rooms, you probably was thinking just like me at this time, right? Before coming to the rooms, you couldn't have told me that I could go into a room full of people that was crazy and was doing some of the outrageous things that I was doing in life and stay clean. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm a proof of the product that is shared through the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. If an addict like me can stop using and find a new way to live, so can you. So I'm challenging you today to know that going into the rooms, finding you a meeting, finding you a sponsor, getting those pamphlets that's on that nearest stand close by the door, most times they're stationary, or ask someone, especially the pamphlet when it comes to self-acceptance. Most times, a lot of our problems is we don't want to accept life on life terms. We want to do any and everything else but to know that we are powerless over, people, places, and things. Things happen. But that just because things happen, that doesn't mean that I gotta go out and I gotta use drugs or people or places to overcome whatever I'm dealing with. See, our atrocities continue to happen because we don't do nothing different. We keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. How many of y'all out there can identify with that? Because I know before coming to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, that was my way of thinking. I felt like just because you failed at the process, I wasn't gonna fail. Because I was this person that was all wise and I had answers to all questions and I could get around it and overcome what was adversity to you. Sadly mistaken, it didn't work for me either. So today, know and understand that I must take the suggestions of others and apply them in all of my affairs. That's the only way if I want a shot at a better way of life, then those are some of the things that I gotta do in order to retrieve that. Okay, it also states that many of us pick one group, a home group, whose meetings we attend faithfully, right? I got a home group, and that is the group that you basically go to every day, every time that you decide to want to go to a meeting. Normally, it's called a home group. Now, mind you, don't limit yourself because there's plenty groups out there. And like I shared on a video not too long ago, go to your local listings and ask, where's the nearest meeting? And it will give you different schedules, different meetings around your city. So I suggest that you do that and find a new way to live. The literature said any addict can lose the desire and find a new way to live. How many of y'all out there believe that? Well, trust me. If you don't, believe it now. Because look who you're looking at. Somebody been right there with you that did some of the most outrageous and disgusting things such as. So just know, you're not alone. You're not the first one, and you won't be the last one. But guess what? I'm here to help you eradicate that way of thinking. I can help you change your life if you allow me to. This is where success after pain becomes a mediator for those ones that have so much to say but don't have a voice to say it. I want to be that beacon light of hope to help you come from up under the hypnosis of addiction. If I can do it, so can you. As I continue this segment for today, hopefully you are getting something out of it, and hopefully I said something that will allow you to utilize and help you on your way to recovery. Also, the literature states that practicing the 12 steps in our daily lives makes the difference between a balanced recovery and simply not using. The steps gives us so much needed guidance in managing our everyday affairs. Basically, the steps and the traditions are put in place to help you deal with life on life terms. Mind you, you need a sponsor to help you work those steps because they say a fool that without a sponsor working steps is a person that is headed for continuing slaughter. In other words, don't continue to run into that brick wall when there's help that's out there waiting on you to show up and to help you walk your way into this new way of life. And I'm one of those people that are willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself. Because it starts, begins, and ends with you. All right? Also, in closing here, yes, we are complex people, but the NA program simplifies our lives. All right? Let me say that again. Yes, we are complicated people, but the NA program simplifies our lives. All right? Enabling us to live a life free from active addiction. Our lives can be filled with serenity and hope when we live by the guidance of the simple principles of our program. See, after coming to the room, life started to get a little better for me. You know, today I'm here at trucking school getting my CDL for the second time after a relapse a few years ago. So I'm telling you stuff that I've actually lived. I'm not just picking up a textbook and gathering a little bit of knowledge and coming to the internet and trying to act as though, I know it all. No, I don't know it all, but I have a lot of information that I'm willing to provide and give to others what was so freely given to me. Keeping the doors open for that newcomer that comes in and loving that person till that person learn to love themselves. See, they told me if nothing changes, nothing changes. How many of y'all out there today want a new way to live? It's possible because you can see here. And as I shared, I know y'all heard a lot of the trucks and noises in the background. Here, I want to turn the camera around just for a second to let you know and to confirm that it can be done. Those are my fellow students that's over there up under the tree. Those are instructors that are helping students obtain their CDLs. So, if you want to change in your life, just look around. It's many opportunities out there to make that change. When are you going to make that change and do something about the disease of addiction? Help is available. They told me it works if you work it. So keep allowing Success After Pain podcast to share their experience, strength, and hope with you. And hopefully one day that you would give up that high cost of low living. It's not worth it, man. You can make that change just like I made that change. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. I did it. And I was that addict that when I went to the dope, man, before I could finish using, man, I was already thinking about that next one. Man, I had to go and pull whatever type of lick or whatever I had to do before the dope man left. You know, I was just that bad off, man, at one time in my addiction. And see, this is how the disease of addiction plays. You know, you can stop for a period of time, but the question that you must ask yourself, can I stay stopped? See, I was one of those people, I could go 2-3 weeks, a month at a time, a period of my addiction. And the next thing you know, man, I would get that paycheck on that Friday. Mind you, I done told my people all week, man, or the weekend before when I went out and spent all my money, you know, looking dumb, coming back home, lying about I done got robbed or I lost my check or they didn't give me all my money this week. Just some of the most outrageous things to say. I will find it necessarily to tell somebody that wasn't using drugs these things and expect them to believe it, and got mad when they didn't believe it. That's how insane that the disease of addiction had me, you know? And I'm quite sure some point of your time of addiction, it may not be as severe and your lows may not be my lows. But guess what the literature says? We are more alike than unalike. So your indifferences, it may be done in a different manner, but at the end, we still feels the same when it comes to the pain. See, the pain what leads us to the unmanageability. See, unmanageability is knowing that when I take this first hit, I can't turn it off. When I take that first sniff, I just can't turn it off. When that person smoked that first blunt, they just can't turn it off. See, that's where the disease of addiction takes its toll. See, that's what we got to understand, that yes, I can say these things, but can I actually do these things after coming up under the hypnosis of the disease? Most time we can't. You see what I'm saying? We want to say that we are functional addicts. Some of us are. But at the same time, if you really be honest, unmanageability is somewhere in there. Whether if you got a job and if you don't have a job, we know you're unmanageable. But even with a job, it's going to come time, because I can share, you know, stories where I gave family members, wives, etc., money to put up for me on a Friday. And after, you know, paying the bills that I was obligated to pay, once I took that first hit or took that first sniff, man, all bets was off, man. You was gonna give me my money. I was going back to you, and I was gonna ask for that money back. How many of y'all out there can identify with that? You know, I didn't want to, and if you told me that I would have done that before I did that, I said, man, I ain't gonna do that. And every time I gave somebody some money, if I didn't ask you, I will wait till you go to sleep and steal it back out your pocketbook and then act like I didn't know what happened. These are some of my stories, man. I have stories for days, and a lot of the stories I haven't shared with my fellow man and viewers as of yet. But just give it time. The channel is new, and please, if I said something that you like, please subscribe, share, or like to the channel. My purpose is helping the channel grow, helping somebody reach this message and take this information and change their lives. You know, I don't want to see that you continue to go through what I went through. That's the reason why I felt that the universe gave me the voice to come here on the internet and to share my experience, strength, and hope to help someone eradicate their lives at this time. So if you're new, again, stick and stay. But tell yourself, just for today, I will remember that while I am a complex person, NA is the simplest way for me to make my life less complicated. That's right. See, after coming to the rooms, man, all of those complicated situations that once was a problem to me, today they're a little easier. Now, is that saying that all my problems is over? No, I'm not saying that. Is that saying that I've arrived? No, I'm not saying that. But they told me things may not get better around me, but I can get better around things. So, if nobody told you they love you today, we love you over here at Success After Pain podcast, where recovery meets redemption. See, after coming to the rooms, I started to learn to love myself. Now, before, if you asked me, did I love me? I would tell you yes. But let's be honest. Let's go back and let's look at what I done to myself. See, they told me to play the tape back in the rooms. See, if I play the tape back, I can't help but acknowledge the truth. See, today I deals with truth. No longer, lying my way through, trying to convince you at what I'm saying, but knowing I'm the only person that actually believe in a lie. You see, they told me that I was sick before coming to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And even after being here, mind you, just because you eradicate or change from not using drugs, you still got to change this. Because, see, that's where the core of the disease lies dormant. You see, it's your thinking. It's the upside thinking that causes you to go dumb at any moment. So that's why we got to keep our thinking in check, because we are those type people that if we can get a brilliant idea in a snap of a finger and turn, a life of hope into a future of tragedies and adversities. So let that sink in, Your pain is not your identity. Just know that. Your past is not your destiny. And your struggle is not the end of your story. See, until next time, right? Keep growing, keep healing, and keep believing. This is Success After Pain podcast. Peace. Proper education always corrects error over here at Success After Pain podcast. Stay tuned. In order to be alive is to be aware. Until next time.